Hello everyone and welcome to another Historic video. So we're back to mill deck that we played last time in Historic Best of 1, and today we're taking this deck into Best of 3 with the sideboard that I put together. Last time I had a pretty nice success with Jace, the Perfected Mind. This is a 4 mana planeswalker that can be played for 3 mana, paying the Phyrexian cost. The +1 lets you slow down your aggro opponent, and -2, you get to draw a card and mill 3 cards, and if their deck has 20 or more cards in it, you draw 3 cards instead, and the -X lets you mill 3 times that of X cards. And honestly, this planeswalker definitely surprised me. In the set review I had really high hopes for Jace, and turns out it was actually pretty good having played the card. Last time when I did the best of 1 video, there were a lot of suggestions talking about how we should play things like Bruvak, but we're playing more of a control style deck where we just want to control the board with things like Cut Down, Fatal Push, and Drown in the Log to slow down our opponent so that we can play our mill spells easier. So yes, we are only playing 23 lands in a semi-controlled deck with Joari's Disruption as our 23rd land, but we actually do have a copy of another untapped dual land at the sideboard to bring in when we do want to bring out Tasha Unholy Archmage for the aggro matchups. And we're actually not going to be playing any hand disruption. It could be wrong, but I decided not to just because I'd rather play counter spells instead. Instead of playing something like Thought Seizes in the sideboard where we would take damage in casting it versus an aggro deck. And instead, we're playing 2 copies of Baleful Mastery, which is going to be our 2-mana removal spell. Since we're a mill deck, we don't care if opponent keeps drawing cards. We just want to get through their deck as soon as possible. So this is always going to be a 2-mana card for us. And then against mid-range decks where they don't really expect more creatures out of us, where they board out things like removal spells, since the only creature that we play is a Ruin Crab, that's when we bring something like Soaring Thought Thief in. Even against a control deck, this is quite useful because they actually don't expect it. And again, since we're going up a land, we also have Yanni's Expertise to cast our mill cards at the same time as wiping out the board. But since it does cost 4 mana, we do want to bring a land in. And lastly, we have some counter spells in form of Mystical Dispute and Test of Talents, and additional copy of Graveyard Hate in form of a Cling to Dust. I actually think because people are unprepared versus a mill deck at the moment, I have a sneaking suspicion that in Best of 3 it'll actually work better than it did in Best of 1. Feels kind of like 9 lives cheese in a sense. If people don't expect 9 lives in Best of 3, they don't have enchantment hate that goes through hexproof, then it's almost game over at that point. But let's say if mill does become popular in Best of 3, there are some options that you can play in the sideboard that will counter mill, such as Commit to Memory, and you also have Gaia's Blessing. Leyline of Sanctity can sometimes work. You do get a hexproof from some cards that target end mill, but cards such as Tasha's Hideous Laughter does go through it, and Ruin Crab ignores Leyline of Sanctity as well. And same goes for Maddening Cacophony. It says each opponent mills. So the only thing that really hoses our mill plan is the Jace and Glimpse the Unthinkable. So with that said, I'm going to be jumping into Best of 3 ranked to see how the deck does, and I'll also have a post-game section at the end of the video to talk about the deck. And if you guys enjoyed the video so far, leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and let's hop on over. We have a crab. We're on the draw. I'm actually kind of tempted to keep this. YOLO. They say you only live it once. So I have a bunch of different ways I can play this. I can just go full mill. Or I could respect. I'm kind of scared, like, okay, they're full on ramp. I think I'll start off with the Fatal Push. An interesting card. Let's get another blue source for Jace. Nice. Nykthos.
I have survived Nico Bolas, and I will survive you.
So I can Madden Cacophony and then hold up Fatal Push for whatever they do. Another land would be nice. $28 cards remaining. So we get to see more of their deck. That is 3 Elder Gargroth in the graveyard.
You will grow with us. Our strength multiplies.
So they can use this to fight. And then we'll Fatal Push. Mesmeric Orb. We really need a land though. Because I feel like we're gonna lose to their Nissa soon. So this is what? 18 cards here. If I get a land, that's
Phyrexia must be nurtured.
additional 3. 11.
Stomping time.
We could just lose to this thing though. I'm kind of scared. Land. Okay. No land. So if we get a land, we can still win this. Because this is 18. And they have 13 there. They can pump it once, right? This gives you 3 at the moment. This will be a 13, and then this will be. Are we dead? I think we are. We're just like a turn too late. If we just had a land here, we would have won, right? Because we would have milled additional 10 somewhere down the line. Feels bad, man.
Stomping time. I have left this world. We will reap.
Oh, so close. We were so close. We just bricked a little bit. It's quite unfortunate. So Baleful Mastery. In. Do you want Tasha? I don't think so. Honestly, think that's it. I think we just got a little bit unlucky there. I think Tasha can go out. Tasha's a little bit awkward because they have a lot of like expensive cars, right? Just a bit awkward. Last game, we were so close to winning. So usually like mono green devotions, they don't have that many 2-mana spells. So if you like kill the 1-mana dorks, it really buys you so much time. Yeah, look at that. Like, the fact that we had a turn 1 removal spell is going to win us the game here. And this is the power of founding the third path. So good. I could wait. Does that card matter? We milled 2 Nissa so far. I feel like it doesn't. I'll let it stick.
Close your eyes. Breathe. Listen to the sounds of the wild.
So 17 cards left. We can mill 4 here. Potentially 4 or 5 again. I can't let them do it because they can just keep buffing the creatures. Out of cards, Jace would be nice. Fatal push. Nissa.
Power surges through these lands. Rise, my elemental friend.
Then I'll mill additional 4. And there'll be 4 more times on their turn. It's not the best card we could have gotten, but I'll take it. They got 2 cards. So I guess they're dead? No, 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 no. They can get rid of our Jawari, huh? I mean, Mesmeric Orb. So we need some way of milling them. 2 cards.
I am the winnower. The land shall conquer you.
So this is 5 damage this turn.
I'd get out of the way if I were
Take
you.
an additional 5 next turn. Okay, next game. Game 3. Okay. Their deck is kind of scary. Do we actually want some mystical disputes? I mean, we have Drowned the Lock for that, though. Maybe actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna have Soaring with Thought Thief instead of Asha, so we can aggro down those planeswalkers. Ooh, double crab? Double crab? I need an island. I didn't see an island. That kind of sucks. Okay, so unfortunately because I didn't draw another unfortunately because I didn't draw another dual land, not an island. Excuse me. I needed a watery grave or Darkslick Shore. Because I can't play Ruin Crab and then play Otawara and then Fatal Push, right? We'll kill this one.
I've survived an apocalypse. I will survive you.
So no... Okay. Nissa Who Shakes the World is gone, like, most definitely. I think I'm gonna play with Jace for 3 here. Leave up Fatal Push. And I'm gonna draw.
Surrender your mind to Phyrexia's will. No secret escapes.
So gas. So gas. Oh dear. That's a card. That's kind of cool.
Get him.
A minor setback to Phyrexia's plan.
So if I get another land... Actually, I can just play the Jawari for 2 here, so we can kick this next turn. Actually, does it even matter? We're already at 15. So they're at 7. We have Drowned in the Lockup. We don't care if Elder Gargoth draws some cards.
Stomping time.
Okay, that makes sense. Should I take 8? I'm worried about this card. I made a mistake. I should have just killed it. So that they didn't make the 3/3. But they're just dead. Good game. So I was kind of worried that because this deck that doesn't have a Thoughtseizes or like hand disruption in the sideboard, I thought we'd be in trouble, but actually it worked out. Oh no, if one of these were black. Okay, let's say I keep the Painland. Can I keep the Painland? A Ruin Crab into a swamp? I think this is for the best, right? Take the least amount of damage and we get to keep Jawari. Okay, we're playing is like, this could be a control deck. Yep, that is a control deck. Hmm. Oh, they're playing the meme version with Stifle. They're playing the Lotus Field meme version. So I'm just gonna jam this in. This will probably get countered. But I assume they have, I don't know. They probably have, like, Archmage Charm, so... I guess that's better than them taking my crab. I want to land where, like, land or drown in the lock.
I have practiced against Nile just the trick for this.
I mean, this is Like the perfect time to put the Jace down, right? I guess I can't draw with this card. They mill 15. Let's just jam the Mesmeric Orb. I think getting the Mesmeric Orb now? Sure.
Hone your prowess.
Can I get a land? Hmm. Now they're at 30. Need a land. I do think this is a really great matchup. Because they like to draw a lot, and the control decks usually can't win early. So if I play the Jace out, that's... Hmm. That's 15 cars milled. 15 cars milled. They would have 10 cars remaining.
Imasahak.
It's really hard for them to kill a Planeswalker, though. So maybe I get greedy with the Jace.
Beyond your comprehension.
Okay, opponent's dead. Actually, no. They could have Stifle, right? I think they're banking on Stifle. It's probably Stifle, right? Yeah, it's probably Stifle. Hmm. Let's do 2. This way, if they have Stifle, they can't play their Wandering Emperor. And if they do play Wandering Emperor, they get to mill 6 cars now, and then I get to cut down one of their creatures. Because if I see their deck, they have 1 Stifle, 2 Stifle. So they could have another Stifle in their hand.
Keep watch for intruders.
Strict Proctor. Sure. 6 cards remaining. So there was a stop when Ruin Crab entered the triggered ability. So I'm pretty sure they have a stifle. Most likely.
You can be made to obey.
I have got new moves to teach you.
And also they don't have a Dovin's Veto. Because when I played... No, I mean... They don't have a 2-mana counterspell that isn't Creature.
Finally, I'm home. This is what you get for hurting my people.
They could have a March.
Organic minds are easily quelled.
Think that's a win. I think opponent was banking on using the memory part. Oh, that's awkward. That's awkward.
I will iterate on my performance.
I thought this was a fatal push for a second. Okay. Game 2. Game 2. So, memory is a card that we have to watch out for. Test of Talent in. Mystical Disputes in. What about Tasha? Tasha is generally a window. I did see I did see a Dream Trawler. Trick Proctor. So maybe it's not that good because Tasha is gonna bring out a Trick Proctor, which isn't like the best. I think Soaring Thought Thief is probably pretty decent. Cling to Dust. And a Baleful Mastery. Do I want to land? Probably not. Cut Down can go. Fatal Push can semi-go. Yeah, what the heck do I cut? Maybe cut like Tasha? Cut a copy of Fatal Push? I mean, Fatal Push actually did a lot of good stuff there. I'll go like 2. Okay, maybe Tasha isn't that good. Doesn't look like the greatest hand ever, since we don't have a... Is this a mulligan? No crab. I think I need my third land because of Mystical Dispute. Okay, we found our fourth land. Search for Escanta. Let's get rid of that. Wait, they have Leyline of Sanctity? Does that even work against Mesmeric Orb? Okay, let's pass with Fatal Push-Up and Drown in the Lock. We actually can't counter Wandering Emperor, huh? Archmage Charm. Sure. So right now we're looking for Clink to Dust. And there it is. How much do I care about that? Do I care about that? We're at 20, like, it's like... They're not gonna kill us anytime soon, I don't know.
Let your blade do the talking.
Let's get rid of Commit. Wow, that's stuck? That's crazy. And we're so far away from dying. Wandering Emperor is just not really doing anything at the moment. And I don't know, like, if they play 2 copies of Commit.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Man, this Cling to Dust is kind of gas though. Like, wow. It is kind of gas. Another Cling. I want to see if I can draw something. Mystical Dispute. Okay, that's pretty good. Otawara. That's fine. That is totally fine. Yeah, how many Teferis did they have? Only one milled.
We must protect the people.
I think opponent has no? Okay. It's not a mystical dispute. It is not a mystical dispute. Double Teferi milled, Farewell milled. I know for sure they didn't have Mystical Dispute when I used Drown in the Lock.
Edge in this fight.
So this is 4. $11. They have to counter this. Hmm. Seven cards remaining.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
So they're going to plus it.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you.
Then we're going to eat a Dream Trawler to gain a life. And then if they do Archmage Charm, we have Mystical Dispute. Oh, wow.
I have got new moves to teach you.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this will be additional 4. Man, another land? Kind of sad. So I think that should be it. Five cars milled. Yes! We did it! It's so easy. Oh my god. Okay, so we just played against Mono Green Devotion. Kind of Mono Green Devotion. They did have Leyline, but it was kind of a weird version of a Mono Green Devotion. They did have the elves, they did have Nissas, bunch of Nissas, they did have Nykthos. But it wasn't the usual Mono Green Devotion, which was actually kind of difficult. We almost lost. They kept spamming Nissas, and Phyrexia Nissa actually gets rid of our Mesmeric Orb, which is kind of pesky, and they do make such big creatures, and we don't really have a blocker for them. That was kind of a nail-biter game. But against a control deck, it was possibly one of the more comfy matchups I've played against a control. And I think that's because our threats come out as early as turn 1. We don't really have to attack, so they have to have some removal spell for Ruin Crab at the same time. In game 2 and 3, they have to play more counter spells for everything else. And if Mesmeric Orb ever does resolve, it's a nightmare for them. And the commit to memory they have like a copy of, usually control decks run like a copy or two of commit to memory. My opponent only played one copy of it, and our Cling to Dust just did an amazing job at stopping it in game 2. And funny thing is, after milling them, I did see that they were playing Stifle. So we were playing around Stifle pretty well with Jace. Because if I just minus X for the entirety of the loyalty, they would have just stifled it and killed the Jace. The fact that it's an minus X ultimate makes it so flexible, right? You don't actually have to commit to a full ultimate immediately. So you can go like -2 and -2, which is nice. Just makes it really awkward for them to like play things like Stifle. And let me tell you, the -2, draw 3 is insane. It is actually just insane. Jace is, I'm gonna say it, I think Jace is my favorite card in this set. I would say Skrelv, Defector Might, but the fact that this is a Planeswalker, right? Planeswalkers are just cooler than a creature. That's a fact, right? So yeah, I am a really big fan of this card. And despite us not having any Thought Seizes in the sideboard, we actually did manage to beat Mono Green Devotion as well. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the deck. Unfortunately, we only got to play 3 games because the matches were just so long. I do really wish, right? So Modern List has Hedron Crab, which is something that we're missing. That could be really nice. And we're also missing Visions of Beyond. This is a pretty insane card, 1 and a draw 3. And I would like something like Surgical Extraction or something like Extirpate to be in Historic as well. That could be really nice for this deck. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. And if you did, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be doing more Historic and Explorer content in this channel. And come to think of it, tomorrow we're actually getting some Alchemy cards, right? So definitely looking forward to that. Unfortunately, no Innistrad Remastered just yet. But I think I'm going to be checking out a Hammer Time first. Despite not having Sigarda's Aid, because that 1 mana card that we got from Alchemy seems kind of broken. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye.